Turks at Techfest, and we have the privilege and opportunity to speak to the winner of Battle of the Harvest at Techfest, and his name is Confidence, and he has a company called Beat Drone, and Beat Drone is in the agricultural space, and I'll allow Confidence to tell us about it. So Confidence, first of all, congratulations, well done. It was a big battle out there, but I think we had a solution and a presentation that moved the judges. So tell us what Beat Drone is about.
Okay, Beat Drone is a drone service provider. We implement drones in agriculture to enable farmers to increase harvest yield, reduce cost of operation, and also increase efficiency. And the overall goal is to enable these farmers make their food affordable to the masses, and the masses buying the food at the very cheaper prices. So in the long term, this ripple effects would mean that there are more people that can now afford food. Like for example, right now a bag of rice, 50 kg is about 20,000 naira, but the actual price could be 3,000 to 5,000 naira, right? So that drop in price, or that height in price, is due to the fact that our farmers locally do not meet the demand of our local consumption, right? So we have to import at the rate of the dollar. So the dollar increases, the rice increases, the dollar reduces, the rice reduces. So it's difficult. So with the implementation of drone, we increase their demand, their output capacity to meet the local demand, and then the price drops drastically.
So tell me, how did you get into the drone business? Before I even start asking you some more complex questions.
So as a child, I've always loved aircraft. And I could remember a time when I think one of my uncles came by the house, and I was on his laps, and he asked me, what would you like to be once you grow up? He said, I'd love to be a pilot. I said, do you know that those guys sign death warrants because they could actually die at any time? And I became scared. Well, I actually loved flying objects, and at the age of 12, I was trying to help a little girl, feed a little homeless girl, and I mistakenly touched a live wire. So I was electrocuted to the point of actually dying for 50 seconds.
Wow.
So at that little age, I had that passion to help the hungry people, and also I had the passion for aircraft. So at the advent of 2010, 2011, 2012, I got to know about drones from most of the operations of the United States Army. And in 2014, I had to actually do more research on how we can use drones. And by 2017, we kickstarted Beat Drone. They went to the farms, did our research, get to know what the problem is, how are they solving this problem right now, and what can we bring into this market that will be unique and also be efficient and create a whole lot of impact that I have been looking for.
So tell me, how many drones do you have, and how do you get them into the country? How do you finance them? How have you financed this journey so far?
Currently we have about 4 drones in our arsenals, and we are bringing in 10 more, and we definitely import them from China, US or Israel, depending on the operations we have to execute and the capacity of the drones we need. We acquire from several dealers and actually produce them. So to date we've raised investment from Odionye of the Chocolate City Group founder and president. We've also raised investment from Passion Incubator, from Daniel Parisin and Mr. Musa Mohammed. So we've considerably raised a whole of some considerable number of cash that can push us from that level 1 to level 2, create an MVP, start implementing, and start generating revenue.
So tell me, how many farms have you treated, and have you seen any yields yet?
Yes. Last year we did 1,800 hectares of land and 1,800 hectares. And this year we've signed about 30,000 hectares. And comprised of both state governments and farm agribusinesses. And by Q3 this year, we should have a farm association on board that is bringing over 1 million hectares of land.
Wow, those are big numbers.
These are very big numbers.
So tell me, how much coverage does one drone? So how does it damage? So like, I take a drone up in the air, how many hours do they spend in a day? In the time that they spend, how many land area are they covering?
Okay, so most of the drones, depending on what we're trying to execute, for the mapping, the health inspection, and also the spraying, it has one battery to fly, and those batteries last for 20 minutes. So what we do is that we acquire more batteries to be able to keep the equipment on air longer, and it has a range of about 5 to 10 kilometers.
5 to 10 kilometers?
Yes, from the controller. So what we do is this: we, depending on the size of the land, we segment this land, right, and then commence execution based on what we're trying to do, either spraying or health inspection or mapping. We commence execution. One drone, which has 5 kilometers, can cover an entire 100 hectares of land. So if you're dealing with 1,000, we segment the land into 10 pieces, and then we either spray 100, spray 100, spray 100, 10 pieces, and then we're good.
So the drones are used for spraying, the drones are used for mapping and collecting data. And you say the health check. What's involved in the health check?
So there are two things, right? We attach an NIR device, a near-infrared ray device, and the device, once we commence scanning, it sends infrared rays to the crop with visible light. The healthy crops bounce back visible light, the unhealthy ones bounce back infrared rays. We bring back this data, process on our own software offline, and present the data in a very, very, very simple way to the farmer. This segment of your farm is unhealthy. It needs nitrogen. It has disease, fungi. So this data is now presented to the farmer right there on the farm. He sees the issue, and we can also execute the solution, by spraying those nitrogen or liquid fertilizer or nutrients, whatever it needs.
So in the past, what would have happened was, without this health check, the yields would have gone down, or the farmer would have lost his crop, and if he had borrowed money, trouble.
Yes, so that's it, and that's why most farmers get into trouble with banks, like yourself. After getting finance, they struggle getting these crops to the harvest period and getting their money back and their profit as well. So we see that the traditional means of farming doesn't work. The machines, one, are so expensive, and they're also not very as efficient as the drones.
So what else? So the bit that attracted me, the data bit. So are you using the data? Are you using the data to improve or enhance your business, or provide solutions to associations on how farming? Why we should even use technology to do farming? Because this is amazing. And
yes, data is very important. In fact, we look at ourselves in another sense as also a data analytic company. The Ministry of Agriculture do not actually have the exact locations of all the farms, right? With Beat Drone, we can map the entire farm in the country, get their geolocation, get their topography, the elevation, the depression, get the type of crops that grow in various regions. We might be able to grow in Lagos, we might be able to grow in Calabar, or in Borno, or in Kano, or in Kaduna. These data are very important. Now, we also get the soil humidity data. That means what is the level of water in this land? How fast does this water get evaporated, or how fast does this land lose water? How many times in a day do we have to spray? What quantity of water do we have to put in this farmland based on what we are planting? These data are crucial to the farmers. So, but we're taking it a step at a time. This is more like a baby industry right now. You don't want to give a baby solid food, so you have to give him baby food and infant formulas for them to grow. And once you get to that stage, yes, we get all this data, we push it to both the Ministry of Health, to other businesses like the banks who need to know where the farms are, and the rest.
So what's the future? So in a year's time, so if we're talking to you at Techfest 2019, or you're on the panel, one of the panels, what would you have wanted to have achieved?
We want to, by next year, we should be able to operate over 1.5 million hectares of land. That means that we can create low-cost food for about 5 million Nigerians. That's lovely. And at that point in time, we also want to see ourselves teaching the farmers themselves to also adopt the use of the equipment, which is drones, so that we do not have to always buy the equipment. We can just sit back and provide this software for them to execute the data themselves, to sell their software and move forward. So it's a learning process, just like I think one of the panelists said that after developing, I think it was Diamond Bank, you had to teach them how to use it. So right now the teaching is flying, going to their farmland, flying. This is the teaching process. These drones work, look how they work, and we're doing it ourselves. In the nearest future, these guys will adopt these drones, and then we just provide our services only on software.
Confident, thank you for coming on Tech Talks. Congratulations again. I wish you all the best, and we will continue the conversation offline.
I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.